Okay, so good morning, all. So we'll start our lecture. Students continuously joining the meeting, but without wasting much more time, we will start today's lecture. Okay, so in the last lecture, we have seen single phase full wave controlled rectifier, or we can say converter for RA load with a freewheeling diode. Am I right? So this topic, I think we have already covered, but I just overlooked the syllabus which we have taken in the last week. Till the students will join me. Okay. So we have started with the half controlled rectifier. Actually, half controlled rectifier will never ask an examination, but because without understanding single phase half controlled converter, it is difficult to the students to understand the remaining part. That's why we have started with the half controlled converter. Okay. So in this half controlled converter, we are using only one SCR and uh, power source and one load resistor. Okay. So during positive half cycle, the anode of this SCR is positive. So and cathode is a negative. So SCR is in forward bias condition. We can say forward condition, right? So when we apply triggering pulse, so at this instant called as alpha. So alpha maybe any value, right, from 0 to pi. You can how many of any value of alpha. So here we can consider it's a 45 degrees. So 45 degrees alpha. So after 45 degrees, they are applying a triggering pulse, right? This triggering pulse is applied to the SCR. See, triggering pulses or the circuit for triggering pulses is not shown in a figure. Every time I told you that the triggering circuit is required. Without triggering circuit, SCR will never conduct, and as well as the protection circuit is also required, right? But both circuits are not shown in a converter diagram because of simplicity, but we consider that the triggering pulses are always there. Already we have learned of various triggering circuits in unit number 2. Even the protection circuits for the power devices in unit number 2, right? So that circuits are always required with the SCR. So we consider that the circuits are present, but that are not shown in the figure for simplicity. So during positive half cycle, the anode of SCR is positive with respect to cathode. Whenever we apply triggering pulse, SCR will turn on and then current flow to the load resistor R. The direction of current is like this. So this is the output voltage. It will continuously flow till pi. At the pi, because of natural commutation. What does it mean by natural commutation? The supply gets reversed, right? So as soon as your supply is reversed, immediately anode is made negative with respect to positive, with respect to cathode, right? So anode is negative with respect to cathode. So SCR is in reverse bias condition. So it never conducts, and that time the load current is equal to 0. Okay. So load voltage is also equal to 0 during negative half cycle. Again, for next positive half cycle, the low voltage is positive. And this is the load current waveform. So already this we have learned in first, maybe first lecture. So this is the equation for the average load voltage. So this is the average load voltage, VI by root 2 pi 1 plus cos alpha. So average voltage is strongly depends upon this alpha because VI, that is input cycle, amplitude Vm is constant. So 1 plus cos alpha, only alpha is the varying value. So average voltage is depends upon your alpha. If alpha equal to 0, at time you will get a maximum output voltage. Then RMS voltage, then single phase half wave controlled for RL load. So already we have seen what happens in RL load. So L, that is inductor, stored the energy in its magnetic field during on state of SCR, and when SCR is off, that time inductor start to release the energy. So SCR remains on, right, for negative half cycle till the uh, voltage, whatever energy stood across inductor, that is over. So once the inductor energy is over, then SCR stop to conduct. Okay, so that already we have seen. Then average voltage for that, that is given your cos alpha plus cos beta. So important. So with inductive load, then RMS voltage, single phase half wave controlled rectifier for RL load with a freewheeling diode, right? So working of this diode, freewheeling diode, which maintain the load current constant. If you see this waveform, this is the load current waveform in which load current is constant or it may be a continuously on, right? Load current never become a zero. So if you are connecting a DC motor as a load, then with the help of this freewheeling diode, we can continuously make that motor on. Otherwise, if your load current is discontinuous, your motor stop working, right? So freewheeling diode is used so that during negative half cycle, SCR should be turns off automatically, but your load current remains on, and that's why the load freewheeling diode is already in a parallel to the load. Okay. So that we have already seen. Then single phase full wave controlled converter. So in which we are using, again there are two types of this full wave converter. One is called as a midpoint converter, another is called as a bridge converter. This is a part of bridge converter. Mid converter or midpoint converter is not a part of your syllabus even. That's why I have not discussed and even not explained that converter. So this bridge converter is a part of your syllabus, and so that we will have this uh, bridge converter, right? So in this bridge converter, there are total four SCR: T1, T2, T3, T4, right? So at a time, two SCR turns on. During positive half cycle, two SCR turns on. During negative half cycle, remaining two SCR turns on, and so on. So we'll get a continuous or maybe a more DC as compared to the previous one, that is half control. So in a full control, already we have seen the working during positive half cycle.
दुकानात चालला वाजले किती
During positive half
आणि
cycle,
आज गाडी चालू तेच दुकान पाहिलं मी
Adesh, mute yourself.
जीपे नंतर
Okay, so during positive half cycle, T1 and T2 both are conducting. Your current flows from GS T1, then through R back to the T2 and then VS. So you will get a positive half cycle at the load. Then during negative half cycle, the T1, T2 turns off because of natural commutation. At the same time, the T3 and T4 both are in a forward blocking state, or we can say forward bias state, right? So current flows from minus GS T3, then load R, then T4 back to the VS, right? So this, okay. So this is this cycle both time the current direction is same, and that's why we'll get a same positive half cycle even the input cycle is negative. So that this is already we have seen the output waveform, right? So this is called alpha, alpha to pi, then pi plus alpha to 2 pi plus alpha to 3 pi, and so on. So as you increase the alpha, average DC voltage decreases. As you decrease the alpha, average DC voltage increases. So this is a current I0, which is a discontinuous current. This is a discontinuous current. So the waveform number 4, first, this is the second, third, that is gate signal, fourth, output voltage, fifth, output current, 6, VTH and VTH2. So this is the voltage across thyristor 1 and 2 during its on and off condition. So during on condition, it has a zero voltage, ideally practically 1 volt drop. And during negative half cycle, complete cycle will appear across the SCR. Again, during positive half cycle, till the firing angle or pulse is applied, gate pulse is applied, that much voltage will appear across the T1 and T2. This is the voltage appear across T1, T2 till the firing pulse is applied. At alpha, when we apply triggering pulse, the triggering pulse is shown here, the SCR turns on and then load current start to flow. That time the voltage across SCR is ideally 0, but practically it has a 1 volt, right? Similarly, during negative half cycle, the total cycle will appear across the SCR, right? Because the SCR remains off. And again, during positive half cycle, still to apply triggering pulse, the voltage will appear across the SCR. Then again, when VSCR turns on, the voltage across SCR is ideally 0, practically 1 volt. Then during negative half cycle, the same thing happens. Cycle repeats. Similarly, VT3 and VT4, the same will appear. Right? So the working is given for your reference. Now the VO average is again depends upon the cos alpha. VO average equal to Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha, right? So again your alpha will affect the average voltage. As your alpha increases, average voltage decreases, right? If alpha increases, average voltage decreases, okay? And vice versa. So this is the I average, RMS current value. Then single phase full wave controlled converter for RL load. Already we have seen this inductor will store the energy in its magnetic field. So during on time of SCR, it will store the energy. During time of SCR, this inductor will release the energy so that the continuous current flow through the circuit. So this is already over. Then see what happens with inductive load. So at alpha, when you apply triggering pulse, this is the triggering pulse for thyristor 1 and 2. So SCR will thyristor T1 and T2 turns on, then current start to flow. So this is the output voltage at pi due to natural commutation. SCR T1 T2 should be turns off, but because of inductor energy, the current is still flowing in a negative direction, right? So SCR T1 and T2 still conduct. The conduction time of SCR T1 and T2 is alpha to pi plus alpha, right? So this is a disadvantage that negative in a negative half cycle your SCR remains on, right? So because of that, basically load current is continuous, right? Load current is continuous. This is the same waveform as like the previous one, that is the voltage across SCRs, right? Then this is also completed in last lecture. I'm just revising or repeating the same thing because of many students are not attending the regular lecture, so that they should understand what we have seen in this topic. That's why I have covered the same syllabus repeatedly. Now, single phase full rectifier or full wave controlled rectifier for RL load with a freewheeling diode. So with the help of freewheeling diode, what happens? Actually, we are giving a path to the inductor energy so that the current may be continuous, but SCR remains off during negative half cycle. As we know that T1 and T2 remains on during negative half cycle due to inductor energy, so that will stop with the help of this freewheeling diode. So just connecting freewheeling diode, we can to avoid to turn on the SCR or to remains on SCR in negative direction or maybe in a reverse or applied voltage, right? That may definitely damage your SCR because we are applying reverse voltage. So definitely due to that high voltage SCR may be damage. So just by connecting Prevalent diode, whatever the inductor energy, that energy is continuously flowing to the load, but the a free will or free path is provided with the help of this diode, so that current is continuously flowing only this particular path, right? So if you see that the current is continuous, this is the current output current waveform. So the current is continuous. Load voltage is very similar to the full wave controlled converter with resistive load, right? If you see that negative part of the waveform is not present. Negative part of waveform is not present. So SCR conduct from alpha to pi only. In previous, it is alpha to pi plus alpha. So in this particular, it conducts only from alpha to pi. So remaining is same. Then next one is that we have started in the last lecture, but because of less time, we have not completed the part of semi-converter. These semi-converters are also called as half controlled converters because we are using two SCR and two diode. So if you are using two SCR and two diode, then circuit is called as a half controlled converter or semi-converter. Okay. So there are two configurations of a semi-converter. One is called as synchronous, another is basically called symmetrical and asymmetrical. Symmetrical and asymmetrical. So this is basically called a symmetric semi-converter, in which for one arm T1, T2 both are connected in the same arm, right? And D1, D2 connected in the same arm. So this is called a symmetric configuration. And second one is that is called non-symmetric, or we can say asymmetric, in which the one SCR, one diode in a one arm, one SCR on one diode in a another arm. So this configuration is called as a asymmetric configuration. Both are used. So maybe the output waveform, even the equations, load equation, load current, everything is same. Just the configurations are different. So we can have maybe a symmetric as well as asymmetric. So we'll start with the symmetric configuration, right? So in this symmetric configuration, what happens? We can give the name here as A, and this terminal is called as a B. Okay? And this terminal is called as a X, and this terminal is called as a Y. Just for understanding. So during the positive half cycle, A is positive with respect to B. If A is positive, P1 is in forward bias condition, right? But because of this minus B, the diode D1, right, is in reverse bias condition, and due to this A plus, the T2 is also in a reverse bias condition. So similarly, as like previous one SCR and one diode conduct time, then second diode and second SCR will conduct for negative upside, right? So if A is positive with respect to B, T1 is forward bias and T2 is in a reverse bias condition, because both SCRs connected to the same terminal, A terminal, right? So if A is positive, the anode of T1 is positive, but cathode is positive. So T2 is a reverse bias and T1 is a forward bias, right? So T2 will never conduct, but T1 conduct during positive half cycle. At the same time, due to this B, negative B, the diode D1 is in forward reverse bias, because you are applying negative voltage to the anode of diode D1. So diode D1 is in reverse bias condition. And at the same time, because of negative voltage, the diode D2 is in forward bias condition. Okay, diode D2 in forward bias condition, and thyristor T1 is also in a forward bias condition. Whenever you apply triggering pulse to the thyristor T1, then current start to flow to the SCR, that is A, then thyristor T1, then X, then R, then L, then diode D, then back to the minus D, right? So this will happen. Now, I just want to tell you the output is positive half cycle. That is depends upon maybe a triggering, right? So alpha, this is the alpha. You can maybe have alpha equal to 30, 40, 50, what it is, right? So whenever SCR T1 triggered, only that time the current flow to the resistor or maybe a load. In this particular diagram, directly RL load is connected. Okay. Now, what is the disadvantage of this circuit? I'll just revise the previous one. That is full wave controlled converter for RL and freewheeling diode. If you see here, the load is inductive, right? The diode is required, additionally diode. Now, in this particular circuit, the output waveform, which is very similar to the previous one. See, just look at the output waveform. The same output waveform you will see here in this particular, right? So even the load is inductive, freewheeling diode is not connected, but still the SCR will never conduct during negative half cycle. This is most important, okay? And this is because of the already present diode in a circuit. So what happens exactly? I'll just repeat this one. Dear student, this is the important one. So I'll repeat it again. What happens during positive half cycle? A is positive with respect to B, right? So SCR T1 is forward bias, diode D2 is also forward bias, right? Diode D1 here, D2 here. Huh? So T1 D2 turns on, not T1 D1. This should be remembered, T1 D2. Otherwise, every time we call T1, T2, T3, but here T1 D2 conducts because A is positive, T1 forward bias, T2 reverse bias. B is negative, D1 reverse bias, T2 forward bias. Okay. So your current starts from Vs, then it flows through T1, then X terminal, then R, then inductor. Now immediately inductor start to store the energy in its magnetic field, right? So inductor start to store its energy in its magnetic field. So during on time of T1 and T2, inductor store the energy. As soon as the supply get reverse, or maybe a time T equal to 5, right? So what happens? A is negative now. So I'll just A is negative and B is positive. Okay. So B is positive and A is negative. A is negative with respect to B. What happens? Because of this A negative, thyristor T1 immediately turns off because of natural commutation, right? Or it is in a reverse bias condition, and due to this B positive, B terminal is positive. What happens? The diode D1 and thyristor T2 is in forward bias condition. Diode D1 and thyristor T2 is in forward bias condition. But what happens until and unless triggering pulse is applied? This inductor, whenever supply get reversed, the polarity of the charge stored across inductor get reversed. Okay, so the polarities of charge across inductors are shown in figure. So inductors start to release the energy. Now what happens in this condition? The inductor energy will flow through the D2 and this will turn on D1 and then current flows in this particular. Okay, the current flows in this loop only. So because of that, T1 never conducts. If T1 never conducts, the negative maybe a input cycle. Exactly what happens if this inductor energy is feedback to the supply voltage. So that supply, which means it's basically inverting operation, load to supply energy transfer hai. So that is basically called inverter operation. But because of the diodes which are connected in the circuit, what happens? The SCR T1 immediately turns off as soon as your supply gate reverse bias. So T1 off, T2 off. So no supply or maybe a input waveform that is flow through the load. So you will get only a alpha to pi, output voltage alpha to pi, right? Energy from source to load is stopped whenever the supply get reversed. But the inductor energy released through this diode D2, then D1 back to. So this time the diode D1 acts as a freewheeling diode. During positive half cycle, diode D1 acts as a freewheeling diode. So there is no need to connect external freewheeling diode because The diode D2 is already conducting, and this D1 is also forward bias because the negative terminal. So diode D1 is in forward bias, D2 is already forward bias. So current, whatever energy is stored by inductor, that energy is stored, that is released to D2, then a D1 back to the R, again L. D2, D1, R, L, D2, D1, R, L, and so on. So you will get a continuous load current. See, this is the load current. Load current is a continuous, but load voltage, that is supply voltage or power delivered to the load from only alpha to pi. That is pi to pi plus alpha. No energy will be transferred from supply to load, right? So that part is removed. So no need to connect extra freewheeling diode in this semi converter. If you see, the operation of this circuit is very similar to the previous one. That is fully or full wave controlled converter for RL load with the freewheeling diode. So by using 4 SCR and 1 diode, you can just use 2 SCR and 2 diodes. You will get the same kind of operation, right? This is a full wave half control because only SCR is controlled, diodes are uncontrolled. That's what is called half controlled. But the output waveforms, if you see, this is replica of the previous one. Same, everything is same, right? So semi converters, or we can say maybe a half controlled converter having advantage, right? That is only 2 SCRs are required and no freewheeling diode is required. Still the operation is same. Okay. So this is about the full wave, single phase, full wave, half controlled rectifier or a semi converter, which is a symmetric configuration. Now we will see asymmetric configuration. The output voltage, average voltage, everything is same, right? Nothing is different. Average voltage same, that is Vm by pi plus R, 1 plus cos alpha, and everything. Everything is same. Okay. Then single phase full wave half controlled, that is asymmetric configuration, right? Asymmetric configuration. This is another part of a semi converter. The output waveform, everything is again same, right? Just the working is slightly different. So we have to understand the working only. Remaining thing is same. Now, what happens in this circuit configuration? Again, I'll just explain this circuit with the same notations which we have used frequently. That is called A and B notations, and even X and Y. So this is the X notation, and this is the Y notation. Uh, One more instruction just I want to give you. Some students just entering the meeting. Already 30 minutes is over. So from next time, I'll just give permission to the student to enter the class for 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes. If your any one student lost their connection due to poor internet connectivity during the lecture, they can request in a chat box. Then only I will add. Otherwise, I will never add because I just see so many students are entering the class for last 10 minutes, right? So it is very bad thing. Uh, I'll repeat the same thing which we have discussed in the last week in the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Why I should waste my 10-15 minutes? Just those are present, maybe absent in the last lecture and so on. So they should understand what is the exactly half control converter with resistive load, half control converter with RL load, half control converter with RL load and freewheeling diode, then full control converter for resistive load, full control converter for resistive and inductive load, full control converter with resistive inductive load and freewheeling diode, right? So that I have covered in first 15 minutes, or I just called repeat it. Why I repeat it? Because so many students, maybe because of poor internet connection on all things, right? So they may not understand what is the exact topic. That's why I repeat it. Otherwise, no need to repeat the topic. Okay? So from next lecture, I will not give permission to enter into the lecture. I will not allow even for last 20 minutes or maybe a last 10 minutes like that, right? So you have a time to join the meeting within a first uh, 5 minutes, right? So that after 5 minutes, we can maybe continuously see the remaining topics. Okay. So this is the instruction, one of the instruction that is required to give you. Otherwise, it happens regularly. Students join the meeting in the last 10 to 15 minutes. So this should not happen repeatedly. Okay. So during positive half cycle, A is positive. A is positive, right? With respect to B. If A is positive, T1 is in forward bias condition. At the same time, diode T2 is also in a forward bias condition. T1 forward bias, D2 forward bias. T2 and D1 remains in reverse bias condition, right? Because A is positive. So anode of thyristor T1 is forward bias, but is basically positive forward bias. The same positive voltage is applied to the cathode of D1, so D1 is reverse bias. Similarly, because of this minus terminal B, the Santosh Andhale, okay. So again, same thing, minus B. Because of this minus B, diode D2 is in forward bias, but T2 is in reverse bias condition, right? So what happens during positive half cycle? As soon as trigger pulse is applied, the current start to flow from Vs, A, thyristor T1, then resist X, then R, then L, then Y, B2 back to the supply. Inductor immediately start to store the energy in its magnetic field with polarity upper positive and lower negative. Okay. So inductor store the energy. Now during negative half cycle at pi, what happens? The A is a negative, A is negative and B is positive. A is negative with respect to B. As soon as A is negative, SCR T1 should be turns off, right? SCR T1 should be turns off. So okay, so SCR T1 should be turns off, but what happens in an inductor energy that will it changes its polarity. So this T1 positive charge, that is inductor start to release the energy to diode D2, and then because of the supply get reverse, B is positive, so thyristor T2, that is the energy or maybe an anode of thyristor T2 is always positive, right? And diode D2 is already in forward bias, so immediately what happens? The energy that will flow through the diode D2, T2, and then diode T2 turns on, and your energy release to the R and L. Again, same thing. The output waveform is a voltage waveform is a discontinuous, but load current is a continuous waveform, right? And same thing happened during the reverse cycle or maybe a negative cycle, negative half cycle. So this is about the single phase full, sorry, single phase half controlled rectifier or converter, that is called semi-asymmetric configuration. So the output waveform, the equations for symmetric and asymmetric both is same, just a slight difference, that is the on time, off time of SCRs, and each is changing, right? So that is given here. Uh, this is about the single phase uh, converter or single phase. Okay. So single phase full wave converter, single phase half wave converter, single phase fully controlled converter, and half single phase half controlled converter. Okay. So this is the single phase converters. Now the next part is a three phase converter, but three phase converters we will see in the next lecture. So before that, what we have seen in this particular classification of controlled converter, single phase half wave controlled converter with R load we have seen, with RL load seen, single phase half controlled rectifier with RL load and freewheeling diode that we have seen. Then single phase full wave controlled for R, for RL and with freewheeling diode, and even single phase full wave half controlled rectifier that is called semi converter. So this part is already over. Total 7 converters we have seen. Only 2 converter, but which is difficult to understand. It requires a large, maybe a more time. So maybe next 3 to 4 lectures we require to complete the fully, sorry, three-phase controlled converter. So three-phase is somewhat difficult part. So students, if you're having any problem till what we have seen, you can immediately ask me because I have maybe a 3 minutes, more 3 minutes remaining. So we can discuss about the all 7 types of converter. And one more thing, I'll take a screenshot of your presentee in first 5 minutes, then after 20 minutes, and then again in the last 5 minutes. So if all the students are present in all 3 screenshots, only that students, I will give the attendance or maybe a present. Those who are absent in the first 5 minutes or those who are absent in middle 20-25 minutes and those who are absent in the last 5 minutes. So I'll immediately, maybe I just mark their absentee. Okay. So this is one instructions that I want to give you. One more instruction. Many of you, maybe students, that is Aarti Papale, Gunjal Adesh, Duman Akshay, Godse Deepika, Pallavi Chavan, Santosh Andale, Sagar Bamle, and Meher Akanksha. You should change your name on your Zoom with starting with your roll number, right? So that is maybe possible and maybe easy for the staff member to mark your attendance. Otherwise, many times your attendance will not be marked, right? So if you're keeping your name as it is, change just your name on your Zoom with your roll number first and then followed by your name. Okay, so that it may be possible maybe to mark your present, right? So this is one thing. Second one, I have given assignments, total 4 assignments I have given. I'll put the assignment number 5th today, and as well as I'll give you a next online examination that is on unit number 2, maybe today or tomorrow. So everyone, again, I'll give the same instructions many times. So submit your assignments at the right time. Okay, because the assignment submission, late assignment submission will affect your internal marks. We don't know exactly what happens in the future, right? Because maybe the internal marks, in-same marks, that is university will decide these marks may be given by internal teacher. So we don't have any proof why we should give a marks. So these assignments as well as your online test, that is must, you should give the assignments. When you submit your assignment, submit separate assignment under the assignment number 1, assignment number 2, assignment number 3 and 4, etc. Okay, don't submit assignment 1 and 2 under the 1 or 3 and 4 under the 3. So it may be considered as a not submitted assignment. So submit assignments properly and timely. Time is most important because every day I note down students, those who are submitting the assignment and those are not submitting. So I'll just mark it as a late submission for those who have not submitted the assignments. So submit your assignments timely. I'll say immediately, maybe today itself, four, up to the fourth, 1, 2, 3, and 4 assignment, right? Maybe after tomorrow, I'll just block